We begin with breaking news. Another arrest after the death of a 10-year-old boy in Lancaster. Authorities say the child's mother is now behind bars. Good afternoon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Family members of 10-year-old Anthony Avalos spoke out today. Investigators
say they believe he was tortured at the hands of his mother's boyfriend.
KTLA 5's Aaron Myers is live now at the Lancaster courthouse, where both the mother and her boyfriend are facing a judge. Also, a news conference just wrapped up. Aaron?
Good afternoon, you two. We're actually here at the Sheriff's Department, where they had a news conference. The family had a news conference earlier this morning as well. We do know little Anthony Avalos' mother has been arrested, as has her boyfriend. They are expected to be arraigned. The mother today, boyfriend is not happening just yet because of medical issues. I'm going to bring in Lieutenant Derek Alfred with the Sheriff's Department to fill us in. Now, you guys made this arrest this morning. What led to it?
Well, our continuing investigation, which were the arrest of Mr. Leyva on Wednesday, along with some follow-up interviews that we conducted from the information we learned after his arrest, led us to re-interview Miss Heather Barron this morning. And as a result of that interview, she was arrested for the murder of her son.
Now, I know there's details you can't fill us in on at this point, but you talked a little bit earlier about the injury that Anthony sustained. Can you talk to us about what made you think that this was done to him and not an accident?
Well, based on physical evidence that we have seen and the evidence on his body, along with some statements that we've received, we have been able to form the opinion and form the probable cause that we need to believe that this was not an unintentional or accidental act, that this injury was perpetrated upon him by an individual, by a person. So I can't go into the details as to what it is or which person we suspect is responsible or partially responsible or solely responsible, but we believe that this was no accident, that he was intentionally injured in a manner that resulted in his death, unfortunately.
And then what charges are they both facing now?
They're both been charged with murder, child abuse resulting in death, along with a torture allegation.
And torture, not something we hear often. What brings about a charge like that?
Well, again, we can't comment on any specific information we have on this case. We have a very long road ahead of us on this case, and we have criminal proceedings to go through, so we can't put any information out there that could be of detriment to our future investigative process.
Now, I know obviously this is an extremely difficult situation for all involved. How do you guys deal with something with a small child, just 10 years old?
We have services on our department. We work directly with doctors and an entire unit on our department that actually goes out and they look for cases like this where law enforcement personnel, anybody involved in this particular case, may need somebody to talk to. So we have a lot of support available. Not just to us, but to also the responding deputies. Deputies did CPR on this boy, so a very traumatic situation. But we do have processes in place, and we have had so for a long time, and it's very effective.
Thank you very much for talking to us, Lieutenant. We appreciate it, and I want to show you a little bit more from the family earlier today.
Anthony's dreams of becoming a police officer or a firefighter will never be fulfilled. But rest assured, my sweet baby boy, that you will always be loved, never forgotten.
A family devastated and searching for answers after the death of 10-year-old Anthony Avalos, allegedly at the hands of his mother's boyfriend last week.
We want to make sure that this doesn't happen to another kid. We want to make sure that they figure out what went wrong and how to fix it.
32-year-old Kareem Leyva and Anthony's mother, 28-year-old Heather Barron, have both been charged with murder and torture. The little boy is said to be severely beaten and malnourished.
We don't have enough information to really know what went down in that household that led to the murder of a 10-year-old boy.
This after multiple reports of abuse, including sexual, emotional, and physical, were reported to DCFS between 2013 and 2016.
He asked me if he could become a Barron because he wanted us to adopt him, and we tried removing him from the house, and the system failed. And
Anthony's mother did take parenting classes and was provided other services by DCFS, but the family's attorney says it wasn't enough.
If a parent is abusing, neglecting, starving, torturing a child, a parenting class, DCFS, will not fix the problem.
The family now remembering and missing a little boy they loved so very much.
And I really hope this happens to nobody else's family and no other children, because this is not fair. He never will grow up to be what he wants to be.
Obviously just a heartbreaking situation for this family. We have been told that DCFS is doing an internal investigation. Once again, Anthony Avalos' mother has been arrested. She is expected to be arraigned any moment. As for Kareem Leyva, they do not know when that will happen with him just yet. That is the latest in Lancaster. I'm Erin Myers. I'll send it back to you.
Erin, thank you. Such a tough, sad story.